Who is the true villain of Undertale? Now, you might have one answer that you think is correct, but Undertale really isn't that much of a black and white game. Like, in terms of the villains, let's just, like, get into the video. There's a lot of villains in Undertale, or people you could call villains. Let's talk about all of them. So if we think about it, technically any monster that you encounter and fights you is a villain, since you have to battle them. But sometimes they're not really villainous, they just kind of run into you. Plus, the definition of a villain is a character whose evil actions are important to the plot. Their actions are not evil, and they are not important to the plot, so this does not fit. So what about bosses and mini-bosses? I mean, they go out of their way to fight you, but not all of their actions are evil, and not all of them are important to the plot. Why don't we just look at main bosses, which could be the villains of Undertale. Now, main bosses include fights that you have at the end of the 5 sections in the game, plus a few others, like Toriel, Papyrus, Undyne, Mettaton, Sans, Asgore, Flowey, people like that. But if you look at each of them, their actions are not really evil, and they're kind of justified. Like, let's look at Toriel. Toriel is just trying to protect you. Papyrus is just trying to turn you into Undyne, and Undyne just wants to kill you so she can get the last soul to Asgore and they can actually get out of the underground. Mettaton was just helping Alphys get liked by the human, and Asgore, we kind of already talked about him. But what about Flowey, and what about Sans? Well, I'm gonna put them into another category of who the true villain of Undertale is. It's someone who fits all of these, and also is probably at the end of the game, probably one of the last battles, which fits 3 people: Sans, Omega Flowey, and Azrael, which the last 2 are basically the same person. Let's first start with just Flowey, which, okay, sure, his actions were evil, but just think about it, he was super bored, he read every book, burned every book, lost every game, won every game, and he even subscribed to my YouTube channel, which you should do too. Did I steal this from Senior Palo? Maybe. But it doesn't matter. You should subscribe. Because Flowey did. Okay, that doesn't matter. His actions are still evil and stuff, yeah. So okay, Flowey and Azrael are the true villains of the pacifist and neutral route. But why don't we look at the genocide route? So the final boss is Sans. Except Sans doesn't really do anything. Not that much. He's just there to judge you for your actions, and he responds accordingly. Now I have another person to add to this, which is also Chara. Again, they didn't do anything. They were just like, hey, the world is completely gone. You wanna delete it because, you know, there's nothing left. And sure, they might come back in the pacifist route, but that's just to remind you of what you did. Speaking of you, let's talk about you. Okay, that kind of sounded funny. Speaking of you, let's talk about you for a second. You, or the player, is the true villain of the genocide route. Think about it, there's some songs in the OST, like Bird that carries you over a disproportionately small gap, or a song that might play when you fight Sans. So this OST is talking about you, the player. Now let's look at battle against the true hero. That's your battle against a true hero. That true hero being Undyne. And before you say, oh, but in the genocide route, it switches from third person to first person, so you should be speaking in first person. It doesn't matter. It's still just gonna be my battle against the true hero. Actually, this is more accurate, since the text in Monster Kid's battle actually says, in my way. But it doesn't matter. It's still my battle against a true hero. The true hero being Undyne. Except you defeat Undyne in the genocide route, so I guess they lost. I don't know how to end this. You know, I was expecting this to be a lot longer than I thought. I was, like, gonna make a video about villains in Undertale, but, I'm already done with my script. And also, people have talked about this a lot, but it's been, like, 4 to 6 years since anyone's really talked about this. Almost 7, actually, at this point. So, yeah, so if you want me to talk about some old Undertale topics, and also some new Undertale topics, you can subscribe. I'm gonna do this for a while, until I get 1,000 subscribers. Then I'm gonna keep doing it, because, you know, you can help me get 1,000 subscribers by subscribing today. Yeah. And joining my Discord server. I have a Discord server, if you didn't know. Yeah. Okay, no one's gonna watch this. Whatever. Bye!